It's late at night. You're lying in bed. The room is completely quiet, but your mind isn't. One thought appears, then another. Then suddenly, you're replaying something you said 3 days ago. Why did I say that? What if they think I'm strange? What if I made a mistake? You try to stop thinking, but the more you try, the louder your mind becomes. If this feels familiar, you are not alone. Many adults feel like they are trapped inside their own thoughts. Not physically stuck, but mentally. It feels like your mind is running on a continuous loop. Today, we're going to explore the psychology of adults who feel stuck in their thoughts, why it happens, what your brain is actually trying to do, and how this pattern might secretly contain a hidden strength. Feeling stuck in your thoughts is often connected to something psychologists call rumination. Rumination means repeatedly thinking about the same problem, mistake, or worry without ever reaching a solution. Instead of resolving the issue, the mind simply keeps replaying it. Think of it like a mental hamster wheel. You're moving constantly, but going absolutely nowhere. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that rumination is strongly linked to anxiety and stress, but interestingly, it also appears more frequently in people who are highly reflective and analytical. In other words, people who think deeply are more likely to get caught inside their own thoughts. Your brain isn't trying to torture you, it's genuinely trying to figure something out. The problem is that sometimes the brain simply forgets to stop. One surprising reason people get stuck in their thoughts is self-protection. Your brain constantly scans for mistakes, threats, or social risks. Thousands of years ago, this ability helped humans survive. If someone in the tribe made a social mistake, it could mean exclusion, and exclusion once meant real danger. So the brain developed a habit: replay events to prevent future mistakes. That's why you might replay conversations over and over in your mind. Your brain is quietly asking, did I say something wrong? How can I do better next time? From a survival perspective, this makes complete sense, but modern life creates a problem. Instead of analyzing genuine dangers, the brain starts analyzing every small detail: a brief conversation, a facial expression, a tiny mistake. Your mind keeps digging even when there's nothing useful left to find. Another reason people get mentally stuck is because thinking itself feels productive. Your brain believes that if it keeps thinking long enough, it will eventually discover the perfect answer. But this often becomes a trap. Psychologists call it analysis paralysis. The brain gathers more and more information but never actually moves toward action. For example, you want to send an important message, but instead of sending it, you rewrite it 5 times. You want to make a life decision, but instead of choosing, you keep researching endlessly. At first, it feels responsible and careful. But slowly, thinking begins to replace living and the mind stays completely stuck. Another interesting psychological reason involves how the brain stores emotional memories. When something emotional happens, especially embarrassment, regret, or fear, your brain marks it as deeply important. The amygdala, the brain's emotional center, signals that this moment requires attention. So the brain replays it again and again. It's like a mental reminder saying, don't forget this lesson. But sometimes the brain overlearns the lesson. Instead of learning once and naturally moving on, it keeps replaying the memory long after the lesson has already been absorbed. That's why many adults find themselves thinking about things that happened years ago. Your brain believes it's helping, but it doesn't realize the replay button is permanently stuck. Here's something genuinely surprising. People who feel stuck in their thoughts are often the deepest thinkers. Studies from the University of Michigan found that individuals who ruminate more tend to score higher in analytical thinking and emotional awareness. They notice details others completely miss. They process emotions on a profound level. They reflect on meaning and significance. These are powerful mental abilities, but like any strength, they can become overwhelming without proper balance. Imagine having a microscope for a brain. You see everything with sharp clarity, but sometimes you zoom in too far and small things begin to look enormous. The good news is that your brain is incredibly adaptable. A concept called neuroplasticity explains that the brain can form entirely new thinking patterns throughout life. Every time you interrupt an overthinking cycle, you weaken that old mental pathway. And every time you shift your attention toward action or the present moment, you strengthen a healthier one. Simple habits can genuinely help. Pause and notice when your mind starts looping, Ask yourself one honest question. Is this actually helping me solve something? If the answer is no, gently redirect your attention. Go for a walk. Write your thoughts down on paper. Focus on something physical around you. This signals to the brain that the analysis phase is complete. Over time, the mind learns to release things sooner. Here's the real twist. Most people don't realize that the same mind that gets stuck in thoughts is often the very same mind that can understand people on a deep level. It's the mind that reflects, the mind that recognizes patterns, the mind that asks truly meaningful questions. When guided properly, this kind of thinking becomes wisdom. The goal isn't to stop thinking altogether. It's to stop living inside your thoughts all the time. Your thoughts are tools. They are not your home. You can visit them, learn from them, and then step back into the real world. So if you sometimes feel stuck in a thought loop, remember this. Your brain isn't broken. It's powerful. It just needs practice learning when to pause the replay. And when you develop that skill, your thoughts stop being a cage and begin becoming one of your greatest strengths. If this video resonated with you, make sure to like and subscribe for more psychology insights. And I'm curious, do you ever catch yourself stuck in a thought loop? Share your experience in the comments below.